But typically, Brad Holmes meets with the media before the draft, and he'll answer some questions regarding, if the team has gotten some question marks or calls about number 28, what's the market, what areas of need he's looking at, what the strength is of the first round. So he'll answer some questions this week, potentially ahead of the draft. So if you were able to ask Brad Holmes one or two questions, what do you want to know about from Detroit's general manager?
Yeah, who's he picking? I'm just kidding. That would be funny if he just came out and said who they were picking. But I think the biggest thing that I want to know is how, like, he's explained it before in a little bit less depth than I would like, but I would love to hear his evaluation and expectations for players like Marcus Davenport and Mekhi Wingo. Like, how does he feel about the defensive line in the margins? Like, honestly, what is his honest expectation for Marcus Davenport? Where does he see this going if he stays healthy? If Mekhi Wingo's ready to go right away, how does he feel about him sliding in and playing a big role in the defensive line? Because if he doesn't feel good about that, then there's your answer about where they're looking in the draft. Because if he doesn't feel great about Davenport or about Wingo or about Broderick Martin, who we talked about at the league meetings, like, then you start to see these areas where they need help. That's where they would need help. And then obviously you want to know the long-term future of some of these guys, like a DJ Reader, who's coming into the last year of a 2-year deal. And you mentioned Amik Robertson and Alex Anzalone both entering the final year of their respective contracts as well. So these veterans, in a situation where you have so many young players that you drafted that you need to pay, how do you feel about giving these veterans another contract? How do you feel about, I mean, I know Alex Anzalone is a leader. He's a defensive captain. I know how they feel about Anzalone, but this is also a business. How do they feel about giving him another contract when what he's worth may not line up with what they have to pay him? So, this is becoming a fascinating offseason. And then the 2026 one is going to be the one where you have to make a bunch of tough decisions. So I'm really interested in where he thinks things stand with his veterans from a long-term perspective, and how that fits into their overall salary cap plans, because the money they have is not infinite, and they're going to have to make some tough decisions.